More Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing this morning? You're watching Coffee with Ray. So, good day today. Miss Cynthia is actually still in bed right now. I'm letting her sleep in. She's actually been doing pretty good these last several days. She hasn't had a down day or anything like that. And so I'm pleased with that. And I want to just thank you all for your words of encouragement and your prayers and everything for her. It's greatly appreciated. And so, had a very interesting viewer email that I thought would be a lot of fun in answering here. Probably because you're going to be watching. And this email is from Dave. And Dave was watching one of my videos. I was watching one of your garden videos, and you showed that you had purslane in your garden. I thought that this was just a weed. Why do you have it, and what are the benefits of purslane in your garden? So excellent question. And to be honest, I did not plan on planting purslane. It's just one of those things that popped up, and so I thought I'd let it grow. Hey, Taco, how you doing, bud? So I thought I'd just let it continue to grow in my garden and everything. And when I started really doing research, I found out a lot of positives about purslane. Excuse me, coffee. But it's a succulent plant with about 93% water and everything. But here it is right here. I snipped off a little piece of it right here. But this is purslane, and it has a slightly sour, salty taste, kind of along the same lines as, maybe spinach or watercress. And it can be used in a lot of the same ways that you would use spinach or lettuce. You can put it in salads, you can put it in sandwiches, cook it up, saute it up, things like that. And find out that purslane grows in many parts of the world. And it's also considered a superfood, believe it or not. Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I saw that. Hey, Kim, how you doing? I have some growing in mine as well. That's that one weed I don't pull. Chickens love it too. Interesting. So it's good chicken food too. Purslane grows in many parts of the world. The great thing about purslane is that it is a very hardy plant. I mean, you can grow it in your garden. You'll sometimes see it growing even in the cracks of your sidewalk and everything. And it is very drought resistant, as well as soil that may have high salt content in it or basically nutrient deficient. So this thing will grow basically anywhere. Super easy to grow. Mine's been just popping up like crazy. It grew by one of my antennas, and so it's just kind of exploding. But it has a lot of not only is it good for you and it's a superfood, but it actually has a lot of medical properties to it as well. You can break off the leaves. It kind of has a little bit of a salve sort of texture, but you can crush it up and use it on bug bites, use it on sunburns. Other things is that it helps prevent edema, or helps, basically, edema is swelling. When you have too much water in the body and everything, it'll act as, and I forget the word that it is, maybe one of you guys know, where, if you take something and it causes you to go pee a lot, you get rid of a lot of your excess water and everything, but it does do that. And then it's also good for the stomach, good for the liver, very good for the heart, because it's super high packed in omega fatty 3s. And so really good there. Great for headaches, great for arthritis because of the high omegas. And then also very anti-inflammatory, and just a really good thing. But if you had just 3 ounces, or actually 3.5 ounces of purslane, it contains, just check it out, 3.5 ounces of purslane has vitamin A, 26%, vitamin C, 35%, magnesium, 17%, manganese, 15%, potassium, 14%, iron, 11%, and calcium, so 7%. It also contains small amounts of vitamin B, D, B1, B2, B3, folate, copper, and phosphorus. So it's a big benefit. And again, like I said, it's very high and omega-3 fatty acids. You know, probably one of the highest in the plant world out there. You can eat everything on it. You can eat the stems, you can eat the leaves, and I think I've got some little buds starting to grow here. You can eat the flowers as well. It seeds really well. The seeds will last a long time. In fact, you can eat the seeds as well. But the seeds will stay for a long time. And there's been studies that, you know, you can hold the seeds up to like 19 years and they will still grow. But I found, just giving you a little try here on the stem, has slightly earthy taste, but I'm also getting a very, not really pronounced, but kind of a sweet, I mean a sour, salty taste. So I'm tasting some sourness there and everything. The leaves itself, again, taste a lot like spinach. I mean, a lot like spinach. But you have in, I'm getting in the back of my mouth a little bit of that sour saltiness flavor, but it's actually really good. This is good stuff. But you can use it in salads. You can use it in sandwiches. You know, instead of putting in lettuce or something like that, you can saute it, and you can saute the whole thing. Just chop her up and saute it up. But it's actually got a relatively good flavor to it. I'm very impressed. But I decided to keep it in my garden. Let me chew that up and everything. But I decided to keep it in my garden. And what I'm going to try to do is, you know, this, you can see here, there's some buds, but I got a whole bunch of buds over there in the garden. So what I'm going to do is actually save some of the seeds if I can get that, and plant it for next year. Now, like I said, it grows rather easily. You know, it'll pop up everywhere, but it is a succulent, and so very high in water, and like I said, it'll just grow anywhere. But very, very good question. I really, really appreciate Dave reaching out and asking that. And you know, in fact, if y'all ever have any questions like that, do me a favor and email me, ray@raymondmhor.com, MHOR.com, and let me know. Let me ask, you know, ask that question and everything, and I'll be glad to answer it on air and give you some of my insights and do some research and everything as well. But so not only is purslane a superfood and high in omega-3 fatty acids, but it's got a lot of health benefits as well. So it's something that if you've got growing, don't pull it. Don't get rid of it and everything. Eat it. It's good for you, and it's actually rather tasty. So very good. I'm going to start adding some of this to our salads and everything. I've got romaine growing out there right now. I've got my onions. I've got my radish greens growing out there right now. And then, you know, but I could make a pretty cool salad out of this with my radish leaves, my purslane, some tomato leaves, and some of the romaine that I've got growing, and have a rather healthy, tasty, you know, good tasting salad. But if you've got purslane, you know, check it out. I'm almost tempted to see if I can get it to root, and, you know, take a clipping off of it and see if I can root it and propagate it, because this is something I actually want to keep, and I want to encourage it to grow. And I may even dedicate a section of my garden next year to purslane, and I may even try to see if I can get it to go, because your first frost, because it is a succulent, will cause it to freeze, and so that's when it will die and things. But in the meantime, my first frost date is somewhere towards the end of October, so I still have a lot of time for this to grow. The plant that is growing over there in my garden is just taking off like crazy, primarily because I think because it's next to one of my electroculture antennas. But super, super good. And I think, you know, if you don't have a green thumb, I bet this is something that you could probably, you know, shoot, gotta run. See you later, Angry Taco Bud. But I bet that if you don't really have that much of a green thumb, this would be an excellent plant to eat and grow and very nutritious and good for you. So look into Purselane. Now, I almost grabbed some hostas also, because I was thinking, if someone really didn't have a green thumb, what could they grow? What can they do, and have it really grow well? And hostas grow super well as well. And hostas are a plant that when we got here to our house was just growing already in the flower beds and everything like that. And Cynthia actually looked it up and found out that it's very edible, very high in nutritional value and things, and it grows like a weed here. And so Cynthia just has it propagating like crazy. Hey Holly, how you doing? And it's just, so hostas are really good, for your non-green thumb people. Purslane is very good for your non-green thumb people. And then another one that is just super easy to grow. I remember being one of the first veggies that I planted when I was a little kid was radishes. Radishes grow like crazy. And radishes, out of all the greens out there, radish greens have some of the highest nutritional value. So these are things that we need to start thinking about as, time goes on, as food probably starts becoming more scarce and everything. I don't know if you saw just yesterday, the trucking fleet, Yellow, which is the third largest trucking fleet in America. They have over 45,000 trucks in their inventory, or in their fleet, and they have gone belly up. They have closed business, and they were trying to renegotiate with the unions and all that other stuff. I guess it just didn't go well and everything, and they said, "Screw it, we're closing up shop." Why this is important? Because Yellow, being the third largest trucking fleet in America with over 45,000 trucks and everything, start looking for your shelves to, start becoming empty. And, not only your grocery shelves, but your store shelves and everything like that. And so that's going to really start hitting the economy. We're probably going to start seeing the effects of that somewhere around mid-September, when the trucking and everything really starts to, supply chains start, losing it and everything like that. So now is a good time again to continue to prep up your foods and, get your holes filled and everything, because with Yellow going south and just not, they're out of business now, then that's going to severely affect the supply chain, and maybe affect you personally in getting the goods and things that you need to continue to prep. I'm hearing word that I haven't checked the news today yet, but yesterday or today, UPS was supposed to go on strike. Now, did they avert the strike or anything? Maybe some of you guys know if they were able to avert the strike, but from the last time I looked at the news and everything, UPS was not able to avert the strike. That means anything that you're ordering from Amazon or from anywhere else or something like that, expect delays, big time. And so, more things will probably be shipped FedEx and UPS, and United States Post Office and such. But with Yellow going out of business and throwing in the towel, that is going to affect a lot of Americans and the delivery of goods and products and so forth. So stock your pantry, because like I said, we're going to probably start feeling the effects of that mid-September, if not sooner, because that's about the supply chain length is about 45 to 60 days. And so we're probably going to start seeing that being affected severely. So, again, stock those things up. But if you're new here and you're watching my videos and you're enjoying Coffee with Ray, you know, do me a favor and like, subscribe, share, and then ring that little bell so that you get notified whenever I do go live. I am trying to go live here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern. Shaggy, go on. Go on. Go on. Sorry, my dog's over here bugging me, wanting me to pet him and stuff like that. Being needy. So, but yeah, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, ring that little bell, and get notified. But also, like I said, Dave reached out to me and sent me an email asking me about purslane and why I was growing it in my garden when, it's just a common old everyday weed. And so, I wanted to give a good response, give some research into it and everything like that. And, but good stuff, good flavor. I'm enjoying it. And if you've got it growing in your garden, I would be interested to see if you can transplant it. Maybe dig it up from someplace. Maybe you found it in a field, or you find it in the side of a yard or something like that. Dig it up and transplant it in your garden. I'm also going to try rooting it. We just got in some rooting gel, and so I'm going to see if I can root it and get propagate it, and hopefully I still have enough time for it to continue to grow and flourish and get a lot of it going. Now, I have never dehydrated this, but it is something that I am considering to dehydrate because this is a good green, and because it is so high in nutritional value, it would be good to add to my green powder. And I've started a jar already of green powder, and I'm thinking about doing a video, doing one of my Coffee with Rays, and actually doing, showing you guys how I do my green powder, how I dehydrate it, how I chop up my stuff, and blah, 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 so that you can see what I do for my green powder. Green powder, I think, is very important, especially during the wintertime, because you're not going to be able to have your greens and such during the wintertime. And so the more green powder that you can make and everything, the more nutritional value that you are able to maintain during the wintertime. Be quiet, Freddie. Be quiet. Hush. So, but yeah, Purselane, folks, good stuff. You got it. Keep it, grow it, propagate it, and everything. I just thank you so much. We'll see you. Raymond Mhor, Kilted Prepper, Coffee with Ray. So we'll see you. Goodbye. God bless, and kilt on.